forget to like and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell
so we can go to college and get more knowledge.
Welcome back in the place to be with the CBDC Assets Group. Thank you for being a part of the group. I'm your host, Corey. And I just want to tell you that today I got a special video for you with a throwback on this of my old video where he talks about Augustine CARSON. I'm going to have a video with Augustine CARSON interviewing Jerome Powell and other central bankers. But just to give you an idea of who Augustine CARSON is, this is from one of my previous videos. Pay attention.
I'm sure you guys have seen, the giant dude from the BIS, right, talking about this. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. I mean, the dude's 500 pounds if he's an ounce. And to sit there and say, of course, governments have to be in control of the currencies because we need to determine who and when and how you spend your money. So think about this dystopian shit. Okay, you work all week and you get paid. And this fat guy says, no, if you don't spend your money at these 4 places by the end of next Friday, it goes away. Or worse, this nominee to be the head of the OCC, okay, who's an avowed communist, first of all, problem. Second, says, no, we should abolish the banks, okay, which might not be the worst thing in the world, and we can all go to Bitcoin. But then we should make the Fed the only bank, and people should be forced to put their money in the Fed bank so that if and she said this, if I want to confiscate it in the future to stem inflation, I should be able to do that.
Okay, I just want to give some insight to who Augustine CARSON is. I'm going to go ahead and play this video of all these central bankers talking about the future of finance in digital finance, central bank digital currencies, like my name, CBDC. Take a look at what Jerome Powell says. I think it's very telling. Maybe it's optimism. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments below. But to me, it sounds like he's talking XRP talk all day long. And I'm just getting more bullish, more excited. It's very interesting. So hope you guys like it. Catch you on the next one. I'm out. Remember, there was no one before me and there'll be none after me. I am Corey from the CBDC Assets Group. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the second day of the BIS Innovation Summit. I'm Agustín Carstens, General Manager of the BIS.
Thank you, Augustine. Thanks for bringing us together, and hello to my colleagues. It's nice to see everyone. So, as you pointed out, there is no question that we are in a time of rapid technological change in the financial sector, especially in payments. And as is often the case at times like this, there's a mixture of innovations that will have lasting and perhaps salutary effects, and those that will turn out to be mostly hype. And it's never possible in real time to be sure which is which. More fundamentally, innovation is the key to driving productivity in the economy, and the Fed has long supported responsible innovation. Novel technologies like distributed ledger and decentralized finance have the potential to increase the efficiency of the payment system and encourage a more competitive financial landscape. So the direction of travel is encouraging, and the future we can now imagine is one featuring ubiquitous real-time payments delivered at extremely low cost. It's also easy, however, to see the risks. Our existing regulatory frameworks were not built with a digital world in mind. Stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, and digital finance more generally will require changes to existing laws and regulation, or even entirely new rules and frameworks under the principle of same activity, same regulation. From a consumer protection standpoint, users may not fully understand the extent of their potential losses, or that these investments generally lack the government protections that accompany many of the traditional financial instruments and services that they're used to. There are also our potential financial stability concerns for some products. In particular, we don't know how some digital products will behave in times of market stress, which could lead to large destabilizing flows, nor do we know how stresses in crypto markets could potentially spill over into the traditional financial system. Moreover, crypto assets have been used in some cases to facilitate illicit activity, and we need to prevent this so that the innovations that do survive and do attract broad adoption are those that provide value over time for legal use cases. All of these innovations have made central bankers think critically about the intersection of money, payments, and technology, and about the role of central banks in the economy. And that is why we at the Fed recently issued a discussion paper on the future of money and payments. The paper is intended to be a first step in fostering a broad and transparent public dialogue about the future of money, and we look forward to receiving ideas and comments from a wide array of stakeholders about what the future of the financial system should look like. As the paper notes, we are actively examining potential use cases, benefits, costs, etc., risks of a central bank digital currency. And while we haven't made any decisions over whether we will eventually issue a dollar CBDC, or what the underlying technological design of one would be, we did outline 4 key principles that are currently guiding our thinking. The first is that a CBDC will need to ensure users' privacy. So we're researching technological and policy options for a robust privacy framework. At the same time, a CBDC would need to be identity verifiable in order to prevent money laundering, terrorist financing, and other illicit activity, just as banks and other financial institutions currently comply with such rules. We also foresee a CBDC in the United States being intermediated so that it can leverage the private sector's ability to innovate as well as the private sector's existing privacy, identity management, and AML frameworks. An intermediated CBDC would also lessen financial stability risks that could arise from disintermediation of private sector providers, where financial services also provided by the government. Fourth, and finally, a CBDC would need to be able to serve as a widely accessible means of payment for all transactions, meaning it would need to be seamlessly transferable and between customers of different intermediaries. In any case, digital innovation in the financial sector is here to stay, and we are clearly only at the beginning of this journey. Thanks. So I guess I need to start by saying that I think anyone's ability to say with confidence where the financial system will be in 5 or 10 years is roughly on a par with King Canute's ability to control the tides. But I do think there's some things that we can say about the direction of travel, and I'll mention 3. First, there will be improvements to the financial system that will lower costs, increase transparency, and ease access for more people. It seems, we mentioned FedNow, others were mentioned, it seems like that's a certainty, or close to it. Second, it's highly likely that digital financial activities that are currently outside the regulatory perimeter will find their way, will be brought within it, which is necessary to level the playing field, keep the trust of users, protect consumers, and all that. And the third thing is that I think that a lot of the progress that we make along this road will depend on really high levels of international collaboration if we're going to really unlock the potential of digital assets and services while avoiding the pitfalls. So if I can just briefly expand on those, I think we're well on our way to a world of instant, low-cost domestic payments here in the United States and around the world that will be available 24/7, 365. And I think on the path with work to do to achieve the same for cross-border payments as well. Here in the United States, as I mentioned, the FedNow service is set to go live in 2023. Turning to the regulatory umbrella, as I mentioned, I am confident that that'll happen. And here in the United States, to get us there, President Biden this month signed an executive order to ensure responsible development of digital assets to protect consumers, financial stability, and national security. So this order calls for a coordinated government-wide approach to address regulatory gaps related to digital assets and will complement the Fed's ongoing work on CBDC. It doesn't focus on any particular aspect, but tries to take a holistic look at the digital finance landscape, and it's very welcome. So for our part, we're looking, as others are, at addressing regulatory gaps around digital assets and how they will work in the banking system. We're working with our sister banking agencies on that. In addition, the President's Working Group, which is a body we have here that is under Secretary Yellen's leadership, has just issued a report in November on a regulatory framework for stablecoins used for payments, making several recommendations in the U.S. context. First, to require that stablecoins that are used in payments be issued by insured depository institutions. Also, that custodial wallet providers be subject to appropriate federal oversight in addition to what currently happens at the state level. And that stablecoin issuers will comply with limits on their affiliation with commercial entities, which, as Joachim mentioned, is really a key feature here of what we need to do, I think. So in terms of our role, central banks will need to continue to play a key role for us fostering a safe, efficient, and widely accessible payment system with a trusted form of money at its core has really been a crucial aspect, if not the crucial aspect, of all of our missions since our founding. But we'll need to evolve with the rest of the financial system by staying at the forefront of technological changes. To do this, we are engaged in research and experimentation on our own and with partners related to payment technologies and digital currencies. We are hiring people with that kind of expertise at a greater rate, and this is something we will be investing time and money in over the coming years. Finally, on international collaboration, we're actively engaged with other central banks and international partners in moving the G20 cross-border roadmap forward, which carries the potential to address the well-known and unfortunate frictions in international payments. We're collaborating with 6 other central banks at the BIS on central bank digital currencies, sharing our analysis and finding consensus on some foundational principles. So our collaborations will extend beyond these areas to cover the whole digital landscape, including stablecoins, unbacked crypto assets, and other areas of financial innovation. We are dedicated to working with our domestic and international colleagues on making sure that the payment and monetary systems evolve in a responsible way that brings about improvements while also maintaining safety and soundness and financial stability. I'll stop there. Thanks, Augustine.